This is Coach Lee with myexpatcoach.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about whether or not you ruined your chances with your ex after the breakup. Take a second and click the button below to subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I have more content like this that can be helpful to your situation. And I also have content on attraction and in relationship success in general. Now, a lot of times after a breakup, especially when you might find my content and realize that you responded poorly to the breakup and even pushed your ex away, a lot of times people want to know if they've ruined it completely and if there's no hope of getting their ex back. Usually that's not the case, especially if you had a long relationship with your ex and they can look back at that time and realize that you were different and that this is not a true representation of you, but that you just reacted poorly to the breakup. So if you had a long relationship, that's actually helpful to you. And if you start doing the right things now, you can really help yourself, because there's something called pattern interruption. And basically it's simply where if something does not happen as it has been, or if it doesn't happen how we think it will happen, then it gets our attention to a greater degree because of that. And so if you have been responding poorly to the breakup and you suddenly stop, and you behave appropriately, you back off, you give them their space, you give them the breakup, you allow them to experience being without you, the things that I talk about a lot in my videos and at myexpatcoach.com. If you start doing those things, whereas you hadn't been doing them before, a lot of times your ex will notice, and it will have a positive effect on them because it will be something different and they will not be expecting it. And so when they do go to their phone, and they realize that it could be you because you've been blowing up their phone begging them to take you back, and it's not, and that happens several times over the course of several days where you're in no contact and you're not reaching out, it affects them more. It's more of a mystery to them as to what's going on with you. And that's certainly what we want to create. So that can be helpful. Now, that still means, of course, that you need to give no contact enough time to work. We're talking at least a month and a half or two before you even consider reaching out, and usually I say wait longer. Now, if you were mean after they broke up with you, in other words, if you responded in anger and insulted them, or talked badly about them, or said you never loved them anyway, or just all kinds of things that were responding from anger, which is actually a response from hurt. Anger is when intense hurt is inside of you. And so though you shouldn't have responded that way, I understand why you did. But your ex will have difficulty doing that, and they will oftentimes think that they made the right decision by breaking up with you because you responded that way. It's like you helped them be assured of their decision. What you can do about that is to write them a clean slate message. And if you go to myexpatcoach.com, I've got an article there about how to write a clean slate message. So just go to myexpatcoach.com and type in clean slate message in the search box, and you'll find that article. And what that does is it shows your ex that you understand it was not appropriate for you to act that way, that you didn't mean it, that it was in the heat of the moment, and it wipes the slate clean. It lets them see that you realize that it's not appropriate, because if you just let it linger, if you just let it stay that way without ever apologizing, without ever cleaning the slate, then they assume that you think that that was appropriate and that you still feel the same way, and it puts a giant hurdle to them coming back to you or taking you back, getting back together with you. So again, myexpatcoach.com, and type in clean slate message, and you can take care of that way. And then, as the article will explain, you go into no contact, and it can often be effective simply because you have refused to allow them to see you that way. As far as responding in anger, responding very poorly to the breakup, you've taken that off the table, and now they have to reflect on the relationship, which if it was a decent relationship, if it was a good relationship, then they have that to reflect on, to miss you, to miss the relationship, and to think that they don't want this breakup because it takes the relationship away from them. And that's what we want them to think. And of course, a lot of people want to know if they've ruined it because they were begging and pleading and stalking and blowing up their ex's phone after the breakup. And obviously that's not the right thing to do. And you can sometimes use a clean slate message for that if it was severe enough. And again, that article will explain that. But going into no contact itself can help to ease some of the effects of that and to reset your ex's mind, simply because it's showing that you can back away, you can take no for an answer, you can give them their space. And since you're showing that kind of strength, your ex will begin to forget some of how you responded, some of the clinginess, the neediness, the begging, the pleading, the wrong things to do after a breakup. Your ex will be able to forget some of that and will see you more as the strong person who's staying away from them and who's able to live life without them at the moment. And so even if you've done that very poorly, no contact can help you with that and can help your chances of getting your ex back. So I would say that most of the time, if you go into no contact, you haven't ruined it. That doesn't mean 100% that it will work to get your ex back, but at least you can start doing the right thing, because it's never too late to start doing the right thing, obviously. That's all you can do, and that's what you should do. You certainly don't want to just keep doubling down and begging and pleading and trying to somehow miraculously get your ex back that way, because that just will not work. And I've got other videos on that called Why the No Contact Rule Works and that kind of thing that you can find here through YouTube or through searching my website, myexpatcoach.com. Other things that you can do, especially if you know that you're going to be seeing your ex. For example, if you go to school or work with them, or if you're going to see them around the neighborhood because they live nearby, or you have mutual friends and there's just no way around it, you're going to run into them. When you know you're going to run into them, that is if you have the luxury of knowing, you can do things that just presents you in a little bit of a different light. And it might seem kind of shallow, but it just helps you to appear differently, to allow your ex's mind to move in a different direction in terms of how it processes you. And for example, some of the things that you can do are, you can change up your look. So you can do your hair differently. You can dress differently. You can wear more makeup, less makeup, as long as, of course, it's not bad looking, but just do something different. Maybe you buy a new set of clothes that they've never seen that's a different style. Lose some weight, work out, get stronger, that kind of thing. And a lot of it's just working on yourself, how you carry yourself. Are you going to stand with good posture, or are you going to slump? Improve yourself so that when you're around them, they will notice that. Because if they see change, even if it's in an area where they weren't necessarily wanting it to be or looking for it or needing it to be, they will at least see that, and it can help them consider change in other areas where maybe they wanted it to be or needed it to be. For example, if you were not ambitious and now you are because you've started a company, or you've gotten a promotion, or you've just simply decided to be more passionate about your work, and they can notice that. That can help as well, just that they see you differently. They see a different aspect of you, a different angle, and it helps them as they filter and process other things. So those are small things you can do, because you might as well do everything that you can do. And if you're in no contact and you're showing them a different look and you've done a clean slate message to them, then you're doing all that you can do, and that's all that you can do. And when you're around your ex, if you are going to have some contact with them just because your worlds collide in different ways, be sure to be polite, be upbeat, be positive, because especially if they saw you after the breakup being sad, begging, pleading, crying, that kind of thing, if they see you being positive, smiling, being polite, happy, and playful, and just having a good time and enjoying life, that also helps to let them see you in a different light, so that the other changes they see or want to see or needed to see will be more believable. But I do also want to add that simply going into no contact, giving them their space, backing off, is a great reset button. So if you think you have ruined it, oftentimes this can work even if you did the wrong things initially after the breakup. Whereas ideally, you would have gone into no contact immediately following the breakup. You would have given them their space and started the separation anxiety right away. If you didn't do that, you can always start doing that. And they will see that as you being strong, because a lot of times they expect that you'll continue to reach out, continue to bug them, because they just see you as being too weak to be able to back away, too weak to be able to make it through the day without them, and that kind of thing. If you can show them that they are wrong about that, then naturally their mind will be open to being wrong about other things concerning you. And that's really the key. A lot of times, large things are accomplished because you simply got a foot in the door, because you made a small step. That's how the human mind works. That's how the emotions work. That's how they tie together. And so if your ex can see you differently in just a small way, It makes the other ways easier. It gives them a path to seeing you differently in other ways, in larger ways, and in ways that will help them consider the relationship being important enough that they want it back, that they want you back. If this video was helpful or encouraging to you, please click the subscribe button below, and you'll be notified when I have more content that can be helpful to your situation or to relationship success in general. You can schedule a coaching call with me at myexpatcoach.com. That's myexpatcoach.com to schedule a coaching call with me, and just click the button that says book coaching call. And remember, if you think you've ruined it, do what you can do, because that's all you can do. And I hope that's encouraging to you. This has been Lee with myexpatcoach.com. Thank you for watching.